Good day. You are welcome to another episode of our lecture on entrepreneurship. We know entrepreneurship is kickstarting a business enterprise for profit making. While doing that, we have to overcome a lot of risk and challenges along the line. Now, after kickstarting an enterprise, a business enterprise, what type of business enterprise do we want to go into? Of course, business generally, you either go into goods production or you are rendering services. So today we are going to look at the major type of business organization we have. We have private business organization, private enterprises. We have public enterprises. Private enterprises are businesses or enterprise owned by individuals or group of individuals. What do? They control and manage the business. They control and manage the business, and all the profits accrued in the business is for them. Whereas public enterprise are businesses owned by the government. They come into existence as a result of an act of parliament, as a result of a decree or edict. These are public enterprises, and public enterprises are owned and controlled by what? The government. They are owned and controlled solely by the government, and many a times they are not purely out for profit making in comparison to private enterprise that their sole objective is profit making. Public enterprise, their sole objective is just service delivery at tentatively a relatively lower rate. Most especially, their main target is the public. Now, let us look at examples of private enterprises. We have about 5 different types of organization under private business enterprise. We can look at it as a business owned by an individual. An individual owns the business. You own the business, which is sole proprietorship. He owns the business. He manages the business. He controls the business. Such businesses are said to be sole proprietorship. Many times, if you want to kickstart an organization, you have to register them with the CAC. What is CAC? They are Corporate Affairs Commission. Corporate Affairs Commission. These are commissions responsible for registering business organization. Sole proprietorship. One of the characteristics of sole proprietorship, they are easy to form. You don't need much capital to kickstart such businesses. Their advantage is that they are versatile. You can kickstart them with little money and the business get going. Another advantage is that the profits accrue to the owner of the business. But however, it has its own shortfall. It has its own disadvantage. One of the disadvantages is that you can hardly raise much money. You can just raise little capital to kickstart it. And sometimes you might not really need the CAC to get it registered, to get started. And one of the disadvantages, again, is death. If the owner of the business, many a times, if the owner of the business die, there's every tendency, if he either die or he resign or he retire, there's this tendency that the business might go into oblivion. We look at the second type of business, which is partnership business. This is a business that is owned by partners. They have similar interests, similar economic interests. So they come into partnership, and normally the numbers are between 2 to 20. They are between 2 to 20. And of course, kickstarting this type of business, you are sure to raise more capital, and at the same time sure to to have a larger capture of the customers. But however, it has its own shortfalls. Many a times there is a rift. The partners, some of the partners might not be too active. In fact, the partners can be categorized into three. That is the active partner, the passive partner, and possibly the nominal partner. It depends. The active partner, they play the major role. Some partners are just there. They are passive. They don't do much. And in such, when the profit accrue in this kind of business, of course, we don't expect to share the profit among the members that constitute the partnership business equally. So there is what is known as deeds of partnership. What does this deeds of partnership? It is a formal document that tends to spell out the rules and regulation of running partnership business. And like I said earlier on, one of the advantages of partnership business is they can easily pull a very large capital. And one of the disadvantages is that a rift, there can be dispute, and dispute among partners can also lead to the collapse of a partnership type of business organization. Now let us look at the other type of business organization, other type of business enterprise, which is a private limited company. These are company registered with CAC and owned by some individuals. Normally, they don't go public. They are owned. Their profits are managed by these individuals that own the private limited company, and it can be between 2 and maximum of 50. Between 2 and maximum of 50. The next type of business enterprise under private enterprise are the joint stock. The joint stock, which is a public liability, they can go in and sell their stock to the public. And the next type of business organization is cooperative society. These are all businesses under private business enterprise. Now, we have our public business enterprise. We say there are businesses that are owned and managed by the government. They are businesses that are owned, and they came into existence as a result of the Act of Parliament, an edict, or a decree, military decree. These are some of what gave them their legal outlook. And we have so many of them. We have our NEPA of those days, that is now Power Holdings. And Power Holdings, we have our Nigerian Port Authority. We have our water board. These are all businesses under public that are owned by the government just to assist the public. In our subsequent lecture, we are going to take each of these and do justice to it adequately. We are going to look at the characteristics of each of this, and at the same time, we are going to look at the advantages and disadvantages of this type of business. While we are looking forward to our next lecture, by the special grace of God, we want you to try as much as possible to subscribe to our channel, which is Adamu Salahuddin YouTube channel. Thank you for listening.